After over 10 days of drifting, his wallet was as thin as a fan, forcing him to play Superman at a restaurant next to earn a living. At least each thorny obstacle gave him a little soul spot treatment, making him tougher and wiser. One day, while job hunting, he stumbled upon a student and a teacher engaged in a heated debate. Without hesitation, he jumped into. Fortunately, the principal arrived in time to end the mini-drama. The teacher left angrily, uttering a classic line. The principal didn't rush to react, but gave the teacher a thorough once-over, as if assessing this deserter. He then turned back to the school building, solemnly warning the troublemaker that another slip-up would land him a new. Just then, Clark rushed into the office, seriously introducing his 10 years of educational After checking out his impressive teaching resume, the principal couldn't help but feel a glimmer of respect and handed him the Star Rocket class without a second thought. However, Clark's gaze was drawn to the raucous electrical boot camp across the way, where students roamed like wild horses in the loose. They shamelessly did their own thing, declaring, "This is us, leave us be." Little did the principal know that Clark would choose this class of top-notch misfits. Despite the principal's efforts to explain their learning, discipline, and social issues, Clark resolutely took on these little rascals. Clark confidently stated that every abandoned child was simply an uncut gem, temporarily covered in. However, it seemed that this confidence failed to bring him any good luck. Just as the school bell rang to start class, the students threw him a curveball. A girl named Shamika ruthlessly tossed her textbook to the floor. Her challenging glare seemed to scream, "Who's gonna stop me?" Led by Shamika, the classroom burst into liveliness. Some applied lipstick, others napped at their desks. Others strutted out of the classroom like it was a runway, completely ignoring Clark's hopes talk about a slap in the face. After class, the classroom was in chaos. Even the quiet janitor shook his head helplessly. Just as Clark relaxed and left campus, he was horrified to see his car artistically altered by students. This is undoubtedly a personal disrespect. To correct her artistic styles, Clark planned a surprise. Next day, students entered stunned as the teacher turned the room ocean blue overnight. However, before the students could process what they were seeing, the principal rushed in, furiously dragging Clark to his office for a talking to. The principal deemed that kind of behavior unbecoming of a teacher, but Clark believed breaking the mold was sometimes necessary to reach the kid. He confidently bet the principal that during the final exams in 6 months, every student would pass. Little did he know, the homework assigned over the next few days did not even register with his students. Shamika was basking in her glory, turning to her friends to brag about her newfound freedom. Her defiant gesture felt like snapping the last thread in Clark's patience. Seething with fury, he bellowed, "When you talk to me, I'm not using my hands, it's another chicken. You look at me, follow me, and just die." His words sliced through the classroom like a knife. His sudden outburst sent a chill through the entire classroom. Even Clark was taken aback, flustered as he gathered his things and hurried out, as if the scene was playing in reverse. Students erupted in cheers. "Mr. Clark is back." It was the first time he'd thought about waving the white flag. Standing at a rain-soaked crossroads, he felt lost until a friend showed up. The friend asked, "Why didn't you go to school today?" But Clark said nothing. Sensing his anxiety, the friend invited him to eat 2 hot dogs and, after repeated persuasion, finally coaxed him into opening up his heart. The friend's words were like a warm spring breeze, clearing the fog from Clark's mind. Clark knew deep down that every troubled student had a hidden family story. Determined to find the root of the problems, he decided to visit the homes of his students, starting with a seemingly happy Indian family. However, Clark quickly realized that gender bias was a big issue in that household. The girl was abruptly interrupted when she even dared to say her name. When he reached Shamika's house, he found her taking care of 3 kids while her parents were nowhere to be found. Her parents turned her away at the door, claiming they were occupied with work. The 3rd student's parent was absurdly evasive. When speaking to Clark, their eyes revealed an indescribable emotion. Such a burning gaze made Clark uncomfortable, so he decided to wrap up the visit as delicately as possible. These experiences made Clark realize the issue's roots lay not just in students, but in their home environments. He decided to face the upcoming challenges with a fresh approach, starting with establishing some ground rules. The next day, he laid down 3 class rules. Rule 1, we are family. Rule 2, we must respect each other. He reminded the students that from this day forward, if they wanted to speak, they needed to raise their hand. Yet, the students hardly paid attention to him. As soon as the bell rang, they galloped toward the door like wild horses set